Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Cindy. So honored to have you with me on tonight. Please like and share. My guest is here, and I'm looking forward to this discussion on tonight. Please like and share. Tag someone, let them know that we are on, and my amazing guest is here. I hope you had a great day on today. As you're coming on, please let us know the city and state where you're joining us from. Please type that in the comments, the city and state where you're joining us from. Those that are on YouTube, God bless you. Hey, John, my brother from Connecticut, good to have you. My sister Stacy from East Hartford, Connecticut, glad to have it. It's nothing like family supporting you. I really appreciate it. So please let everyone know that we are here on tonight. And I hope everyone had an amazing church service on yesterday, being Sunday. Hello, Lynn, dear friend from Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Good evening on tonight. Please share and let others know that we are here. We are here on tonight. And in the background, you are listening to our guest on that Hammond organ, Ralph T. Lofton. And just want to praise you. He has some phenomenal music that's out. And I want everybody to subscribe to his YouTube channel as well, and we'll get a chance to talk to him. And this is his lovely wife. God bless you on tonight, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. God bless you. God bless you. And thank you so much for helping me. Please share and let us know where you're joining us from. So honored to have everyone with me tonight on YouTube. If you'd like to be a blessing to Real Talk with Cindy, please send a donation. My my Cash App information is on the bottom of the screen. $ Cindy's Keys, or PayPal me.me/Cindy R. Barber. So if you're interested, I would be honored. And also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Cindy R. Barber. Cindy R. Barber, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I thank God for I have been able to interview well over 100 guests since May of 2020. And I give God the honor and the praise for the favor that He has given me with this platform, which has been amazing. Some amazing artists, musicians, pastors, youth, entrepreneurs, worship leaders. Hi, Sandy. God bless you from East Hartford, Connecticut. Thank you so much for being with us on tonight. Please let everyone know that we are here. We are here. And those that are watching on our YouTube channel, welcome to Real Talk with Cindy on tonight. Thank you so much for being here, for being a part. And I'm going to bring my guest on. Good evening, Ralph. God bless you.
Good evening, Cindy, and God bless you as well.
Thank you so much for being here. I really look forward to this evening. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm definitely honored and grateful that you thought enough to consider having me on, and I'm blessed to be here.
Yes, and I'm so blessed to have you. And many people may not know who you are. And let's get to talking a little bit about who Ralph Lofton is. And we know that you are a phenomenal organist, and you played on Bobby Jones for I think well over about maybe like 10 to 12 years. And I used to love when they would show you on there and on the organ. That was one of my favorite instruments, and along with Derek. So begin to let us know, when did you begin playing? How did that journey begin with you playing the organ?
Well, it actually started with piano. I was at age 9 years old, and we were in church, Sunday school actually.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, at that time, I was not even involved in doing music or anything, other than listening to the radio and
Uh-huh.
enjoying listening to music, but didn't
Mm-hmm.
have any kind of thought or anything about doing music. And
Mm-hmm.
anyway, we were in Sunday school, and at the end of the Sunday school, going to the benediction,
Mm-hmm.
the superintendent actually was getting ready to go do the closing song.
Okay.
And so, yeah, she looked out and saw, just eyed me and said, "Little Ralph, come on up here to the piano and play the last song as we get ready to close." And I'm looking at her like, uh, "I don't play, ma'am."
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, I know, but just come on up to the piano,
Mm.
and you just sit. We will sing, and if you can catch on, just catch on and start playing with us." And I'm
Okay.
saying, "Oh my God," just scared. So
Right.
of course, being obedient child,
Mm-hmm.
I went up. I sat down to the piano.
Mm-hmm.
They started singing "Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross." And the only thing I could do was just put my hands on the keys.
Right.
And at that time, I
Mm-hmm.
just started playing the song.
Wow.
So she was being led by God to
Mm-hmm.
bring me into something I had no idea that was
Mm-hmm.
about to happen. And it started
Mm-hmm.
from there. And I played the song through, and that was God's anointing on my life at the time to create in me to be a musician.
Wow. That is amazing. Do you have brothers and sisters that play also?
No, I'm the only one. I have a sister that
Mm-hmm.
sings. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
my mom has passed away. She also
Oh,
sang,
oh,
but it was just the two of us, and I was the only one that
wow.
was gifted with the ability. Now, my sister actually did take piano lessons at an
Mm-hmm.
early age,
Mm-hmm.
but she never did keep it up. And so I was the one that was gifted with that ability.
Uh-huh. Wow. That is amazing. That sounds good. So now after you began playing and you were playing in the church, what happened after that point? How did others begin to know that you were playing and that you were pursuing music?
Well, as you know, time went by. I was playing for local churches in Memphis because I'm born and raised. I was raised in Memphis, Tennessee,
Okay.
and uh, the church that I played for was historic First Baptist Church on Bill Street,
Uh-huh.
and just started playing there, and kind of uh, got to start getting around and going to different churches, playing with the choir from the church. And
Right.
so from there, people started hearing me and recognizing, my talent. And they just started picking up from there. And other churches
Right.
uh, kind of took me on and hired me to play for different churches there.
Uh-huh.
I ended up in my 20s playing
Mm-hmm.
for back then in the 70s, which was a church called Mount Vernon Baptist Church. And it
Okay.
was what we consider now mega church. Then it was one of the larger churches in Memphis.
Okay.
And, stayed there for a few years. And in 1984, I moved to
Mm-hmm.
Nashville
Oh,
with no idea what I was going to do, but just knew I wanted to continue to pursue my music career or to
right.
start my music career.
Mm-hmm.
And moved to Nashville and got connected with different people
Mm-hmm.
and got hooked up with Derek Lee,
Mm.
who, of course, is Bobby Jones's music director. Got a
Right.
chance to meet him and,
Uh-huh.
just told him that I was new in town and was, looking for some things to do as far as music was concerned. And
Right.
so he said, "Okay, well, let's hear what you can do."
Uh-huh.
And I played a couple of songs for him,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Man, wow." okay, we need to hire you on the site. And he started and they considered me and then hired me on as the secondary musician, secondary keyboard player.
Right. Uh-huh. Wow. And
And
how
from
many years?
there, just things. I was with Bobby for about 12 years,
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
and we after that other and other entities started looking at what I was doing. I started getting hired to do studio sessions. One of the first biggest things that I did as far as records were concerned was the Mississippi Mass Choir's first album, Having You
Oh,
There. Yeah, and
wow.
I played on that. And
Mm-hmm.
from there, other things started opening up. I was touring, and I toured with BB and CC Winans for about 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the mid '80s, late '80s, and into
Mm-hmm.
the '90s,
Wow.
uh, and just things kept picking up, and more artists were, began to see what I was doing, and
Mm-hmm.
I was getting hired to do this and do that and do this and do that. The God was
Yeah.
just really blessing. So,
Wow.
it has been a wonderful thing.
Yes, that's an amazing um, venture, almost so to speak. Now, what as you were traveling, what were maybe some of the places that you really enjoyed going to that where you traveled with them?
Well, let's see. I have been kind of around the world, halfway around the world, if you would.
Wow.
Um, um, some of the most enjoyable places that I did was when I was touring with BB and CC Winans. We
Okay.
did a we did an international tour, so we were overseas
Uh-huh.
for several months,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the more interesting places we went to was Russia, and which was actually Siberia, if you can believe that.
Wow. Wow.
And it was very unusual, but it was definitely enlightening,
Mm-hmm.
and a great experience, to be able to experience that kind of thing. The audiences that are overseas, they are slightly different from American audiences.
Yeah.
They are overly aggressive about enjoying gospel music,
Mm-hmm.
and they take to you right off. I mean, it's like they kind of bum rush the front of the stage just so that they can be right there in front of you to enjoy everything.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is really amazing. Now, who was one of your greatest inspirations as far as musically?
Uh, Stevie Wonder.
Mm.
Stevie Wonder is one of my greatest influences.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kirk Whalum.
Oh yeah.
Kirk Whalum and I grew up as little kids together in Memphis.
Really?
Yeah, we've been knowing each other, gosh, for I know at least about 50 years or so.
Really? Wow. That's
Y-
amazing.
Yeah. And we separated, after he moved from Memphis and then I moved from Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years ago, we reconnected and just started kind of doing more work together.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working on some of his projects, and he's worked on some of my projects,
Yeah.
and those are places
Yeah.
that I remember. We've done a lot of different shows, a lot of different ministries.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, gosh, I can't even start to remember
Right.
how
It's so
many
amazing.
all of the different cities that I've been to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. You could almost write a book.
Actually, I'm in the middle of one.
Good. Good. Bring you back so you can talk about your book and then play a little bit for us.
Yes, I'm very sorry that I was not able to do that because, as we mentioned up front, I'm in a studio right now doing a session,
Yeah,
and the only reason I wasn't able to go to a keyboard because it's being used.
right, right. Because you're in the session. I understand. We bring
Right.
you back. I'll bring you back. Now let's
Okay.
talk about you recorded a lot of CDs as well as with other artists, but your own personal CD, your solo projects. Let's talk about
Right.
that because a lot of people may not know, and we want them to go on YouTube and also to download your music. So let's
Oh,
share
sure.
about that.
Okay. We have right now, I think, six projects, six full CD projects. No, five full CD projects and some singles that are
Mhm.
out. One of the CDs is called Hymn Time,
Yes.
and it's kind of a take on a lot of the old hymns
Hmm.
that we took a fresh approach to, and
Hmm.
kind of just was creative with doing them. And
Yeah.
that was one. We have another one that's titled Hymns You Love, and it's
Yeah.
called Hymns You Love, LUV Love.
Yes. Hmm.
Also, I have one that's called All of Me, which I did everything on the project, all of the instrumentation on the project.
Really?
And
Okay.
yeah, and that's why we titled it All of Me.
Yes.
Uh, uh, I Tell You Yes.
Uh-huh.
And the song that you were playing at the front, that
Uh-huh.
song is on that project. I Tell You Yes,
Oh,
and
okay.
the background vocalist on there was my wife singing.
Really?
Yeah,
She is really good.
yeah, oh yeah, she is definitely.
Yes. Yes.
She is she is my heart.
Yes. Has she done a solo project?
No, we haven't got there yet. It's kind of like a thing that we'll have to be convincing for her to do.
Yeah. Oh, maybe she'll do one.
Yeah,
Amazing voice.
she is. She's great. She's definitely. She's a wonderful worship leader. She's also a minister, and she's. I mean, she's awesome. She loves God with all her heart,
Yeah.
and she puts her all in everything that she's done. I tell you what, if you ever get a chance to hear her preach, she will preach you up under a seat.
I can believe it. She's a great person. I can believe that. I can believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Now, quiet time players, explain that.
Quiet Time Players were a project, well, some projects that was done early on, back in the early 2000s. Like I think
Okay.
it was like 2004, 2005. No, no, no. It
Mm-hmm.
was before that. It was at 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened, we connected with a record company at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
the A&R person was wanting to do a series of hymns, and
Mm-hmm.
so he came to me and I just
Your
and then selected a musician.
Ralph, your phone is breaking up because you're in that studio. Your phone is breaking up, so you're gonna have to probably repeat it. What you just said a few minutes ago.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can
but
you hear me now?
yes. Uh huh.
Okay, okay. Uh, Talking to the A&R director of this record company, they were wanting to do a series of hymns. So we connected and I told him who the perfect musicians would be to pull this off. And so we got together and we talked to these different musicians. One was guitar player Jonathan Dubose. The other one was Derek Jackson from Memphis, piano player, musician. Uh, Donald Hayes, saxophone player. and myself.
Wow, that was that. Well, we know Jonathan DeBose is a
Yeah,
phenomenal
he's
guitar.
phenomenal, phenomenal. And
Yeah.
so we got together, and each one of us came up with 10 hymns that we all each of us produced our own projects,
Hmm.
and we all played on the same projects along with musicians Terry Baker and his brother Simeon Baker,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that's how Quiet Time Players came about.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember them, and I sometimes play it on my show, opening.
Okay, yeah,
I play a lot of it, and I listen to it, quite a bit. So it's very good. It's very
very good.
enjoyable to listen to, you know. And you
Right,
also appeared on television as well, Arsenio Hall, and quite a few.
right,
How did that come about?
yeah.
You being
Uh, Well, in touring with different artists, a lot of that came about when I was touring with BB and CC Winans. They did performances, and they would do shows like Arsenio Hall show. Back then, it was Pat Sajak who had nighttime show. Uh, David Letterman, and also Regis and Kathy Lee. I did that along with BB and CC, just the three of us. So those kind of things came about in just being out with different artists and working around along those lines.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Now, during this pandemic, how has it, with the different things that have taken place with the pandemic, for you, what has it meant to you? Has it made things worse for you? Has it made it better for you going through this time of being shut in? And talk a little bit about what's been going on with you during the pandemic.
Well, it kind of started out a little bit unknown, because I think for everybody it was unknown, and not realizing that
Hmm.
this was happening and we all would be at a stage of being completely shut in and not
Yeah.
being able to do anything or go anywhere. So
Hmm.
one of the things that I tried to do was to be creative at home,
Hmm.
and uh, I didn't do a whole lot of session work during that time. And actually, the church that I was playing for at the time had shut down, of course, so that completely took us away from just being out. And also because I am a heart transplant recipient, so that also was a thing that we had to really be cautious about because of my immune system being compromised. And
Absolutely.
so we were basically staying in.
Hmm.
So what I ended up doing, I actually did a full project uh, that I released in September of 2020, and it's a project entitled "From My Heart to Yours," and I just wrote some songs that I did with just only piano and some string additions.
Oh wow,
And
that sounds
yeah,
great.
my wife was sitting in her office
Uh-huh.
one day, and she was listening at some piano music, and I came in and heard it. I was like, "Well, who is that?" She said, "Well, it's just a something that I found online, and I just got it to kind of listen to,
Yeah.
have a mood to, while I'm working in the office."
Right.
And I said, "Well, God, can I do something like that?"
Yes.
And uh, God opened the door for me to be able to create that. And that's how that project came about. It's called From My Heart to Yours, and it is on all digital distributors,
Okay.
where it's online everywhere where you buy your digital music from.
Yes. Wow, that is amazing. And it's so needed. A lot of times,
Yes,
even during prayer or just meditating or reading a book, sometimes you want those type of songs to kind of just, be peaceful and things
exactly.
anoint, for you to
Yeah.
listen to. That's amazing.
And
Thank
it would definitely set that mood for you.
you. Yes. Wow, that's amazing how God really uses you in that vein
Yeah.
as well.
Right. And also I'm in the middle of three different books that I'm working on. One is uh, the the essence and understanding of the Hammond B3. One is also stemmed on the my circumstances that I went through with heart trouble and having a heart transplant. So
Yes.
we're writing the story about that, uh, and the other one is uh, about encouragement, where
Yeah.
we're doing just taking. I spent a lot of time sharing different thoughts on my Facebook page, on my social media pages,
Mhm.
with people in general and
Yeah.
specifically younger musicians that are coming up and musicians that have been in the business for a while,
Yeah.
just to kind of keep them encouraged
Yes.
and be thoughtful about who you are as a musician
Right.
and you know kind of just share your heart. So those things are in the works, and we're hoping to try to have uh, if not all three of them done before the year is up, at least one or two of them.
Yes. That sounds good. Well, I hope the beginning of the year I can bring you back because everything should be, completed, by
We're
then.
believing, we're believing for that.
I'm believing it with you. Now, as a producer, because you are a producer as well, who have you worked with? Who have you produced?
I have produced. There's a choir in Memphis called the Angelic Voice, Billy Rivers and the Angelic Voices of Faith. The Christian Airs. Uh, 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 the late Pastor Father Hayes.
I remember him. Yes.
Uh,
Ralph,
uh,
your mic was muted again.
uh,
Say it again because your mic was muted
going
again.
out again. There's also a choir.
Okay, repeat what you said because we're getting some feedback with your microphone. So repeat what you said.
Okay, okay. That there was Charles Hayes, Father Charles Hayes from Chicago, his choir, uh, the Christian Airs, the Angelic Voices of Faith, Billy Rivers, the Angelic Voices of Faith out of Memphis. There's a group out of Clarksville, Tennessee, called Sharonice Horton and the Voices of Faith. Let's see. Uh, there's a couple of others there I can't remember right off my head, but those ones particularly.
Wow. That's amazing. Really, really good. Really good. And share with us about
Oh,
uh-huh. Go ahead.
now there was one more. The late Danny Bell Hall.
Oh yes. She was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
phenomenal songwriter and singer.
Yeah,
And I was fortunate and blessed to be able to produce the last record she did before she passed away.
really. Oh,
Yeah,
is that out on the market or
it is. It's called Designer's Original.
okay. Designer's original.
Yes,
Yes, she was phenomenal. Danny,
definitely.
she really, really was. Now,
Yeah,
talk with us about you have your own company. What
right. It's called Rafton Music Enterprises, and it is geared around uh, uh, most of the stuff that I've done for myself, and we are in the midst and process of working towards seeking new artists to take under my wing and develop and produce. We haven't gotten anybody just yet that we're working on, but that's a part of the company, and the company houses those things that I've done
Okay.
uh, on myself.
Oh, okay. Wow. You really have been busy. Continue to be.
Uh, God has been good.
Yes. Does any of your children play or are involved in music?
Yeah, we have five children, my wife and I. Uh, my oldest son, our oldest son, is in Memphis. He is a drummer and a choir director. My second son, he also plays keyboards, and he's a songwriter and producer himself, and he's coming up into the ranks. He plays. If you ever hear him play, he you would think you're listening to me, but
Wow.
he is just that good. And his name is Dion.
Oh, okay.
Uh, our third son is a trumpet player.
Hmm.
He plays jazz.
Wow. Okay.
And our oldest daughter, she
Hmm.
sings, she choir directs, and she's writing. Actually, she's just got connected with Lisa Knowles,
Oh, yes.
and she's doing some vocal classes
Hmm.
under Lisa Knowles' company.
Wow. That's phenomenal.
And our youngest daughter, she's also a singer,
Hmm.
and she dabbles a little bit in writing.
Uh-huh. That's good.
And
Wow.
of course my wife is a singer and she's a songwriter. So the whole family, is
Hmm.
all involved.
Yeah, that's a blessing. That's a real blessing
Yeah,
having family involved. Now,
right.
what's next for Ralph? Besides the books, what's next for you?
Well, we're seeking God to continue to lead us and show us what all it is He is having for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot never move unless he leads my footsteps and guides me in the direction that He wants me to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of right now in that place
Mm-hmm.
of wanting Him to show us where it is He's taking us now.
Right. Yes.
But
And
I have a lot of ideas, but
mhm.
I want to wait for Him to say, this is where I want you to go, and this is what I want you to do.
That's right. That's right. We a lot of times waiting is always sometimes can be the hardest part. Is
Oh,
wait.
yeah. Yeah,
Definitely.
it can be. It can be. And frustrating.
Yes, absolutely. Now, let me ask you a little bit about the industry before we close. Have
Okay.
you found the industry to be divided or to be racial? And as you've been out here for a number of years, many, many years, have you found it to even gotten better or gotten worse as far as, racially in the industry, in the music industry?
Well, uh, I don't know racially. Now, there have been some issues in the past, with genres, especially in gospel music. But I think it's it's more of a thing now where people are really looking to work the system themselves as opposed to trying to follow the steps of how the industry operates. Back in the day, it was record companies that kind of just took the reign, and you couldn't really get connected unless you got connected through a record company. Nowadays, technology has provided such avenues where people are able to just go on, have the right kind of equipment where you can do pretty much anything you want to do at your house. And then there are all of these entities like social media.
Right.
There's so many entities in social media where you can promote, produce, uh,
Yeah.
market, and put your own music out there and
Right.
not depend on what a record company could do for you. In
Right.
some cases, in some cases, it's a good thing for that to happen,
Yeah.
but it's more about having control of what you do, and especially if you are seeking for God to lead your careers.
Hmm.
You want to be able to do the things that you want to do
Right.
without being under the auspices of somebody else trying
Mhm.
to dictate how you're going to do what it
Right.
is you should be doing as opposed to what they want you to do.
Right. Absolutely.
But I,
Absolutely.
I think that is, I think there are always going to be issues, but I think for the most part, if people just remain being prayerful about what they do, seeking
Right.
God,
Hmm.
it definitely gives you the avenue to move forward because you're trusting that God is leading where you're going, and
Yes.
and not you depending on man trying to
Yeah.
tell you how to do and what not to do.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great advice. And also, on that vein, is there anything that you, as we close, is there anything that you can say to any of the musicians that are watching or maybe may watch the replay later on that would be of some encouragement to them?
I always say first seek God to direct your path. Seek Him for what it is He wants you to do, especially if you're trying to be in this industry as a professional. Uh, you know, there's a lot of musicians. My wife and I always say, the world is not hurting for musicians nor singers because they are all over the place. But it's up to you to know your niche and know how to place yourself, and that you're going to be a blessing to the kingdom. Also, that you're going to be able to minister to people and not just throw a bunch of music, a bunch of songs, and just music out there for people to listen to. And it's not doing anything to enrich their hearts, their minds, and their souls.
Right.
So you definitely have to seek God in order to know what it is. As the great song says, order my steps in your word.
Yeah. That's right.
And when you do, you know that you're being led in the right direction.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, very good advice and very good words to say to those that are watching and will watch the replay, and those of us that are watching as of now. So I want to thank you so much because I know that you are in a session and you have to finish your session tonight, and I'm sure you don't want to be all night doing it. And so I want to
Yeah.
for taking time out of your busy, very busy schedule, and thank your wife. I just appreciate her help, and I want to thank you for being a part of Real Talk with Cindy. And I want to also thank you that are watching and have watched, and those that will watch the replay. Those of you that are on YouTube, thank you so much for watching us on tonight. Now, Ralph, how can they get in touch with you as far as if anybody would like to have you produce them or maybe want to see your videos or get your music? Could you give a little information on that?
Sure. Uh, uh, I'm on different social medias. Of course, we're on Facebook. I have a Facebook page under Ralph T. Lofton. Also, my business page is Rafton Music Enterprises. It's also a Facebook page. You can connect with me on Instagram under RTLJR. If you're looking on Instagram, you'll find me under RTLJR. Uh, I'm on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter a lot, but for the most part. And then I have my website, which is ralphlofton.com, and you can go there. And also, let me just throw the little senseless plug out there.
Uh,
Please go to all of the digital distributors. Look up my name, Ralph T. Lofton, Ralph Lofton,
mhm.
and you can find all of my music there.
Right.
And I would appreciate it, and it'll definitely be a blessing to me. And I know that the music will bless you.
Yeah.
So go there and find all the music. And if you want to look us up again, you
Yeah.
can look us up. Also, my YouTube channel, which is under Ralph T. Lofton.
Yes. And all his music is so anointed, and it's nice because sometimes I just listen while I'm riding in the car. We'll listen,
Great.
and or either at night, or like I said, I do play a lot of your music, instrumental music, before I come on live. So I thank you so much, and thank you for your time. Thank your beautiful wife, and for those that have watched and will watch the replay. So we're gonna say good night and God bless, and I want everyone to stay safe and please enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see you back here again on Real Talk with Cindy. Good night.